What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of From Screen to Shelf. This is Gabe. I'm here with my boy Will, and today's just kind of a chill episode. We're still recovering from our Thanksgiving turkey and all the money that we spent on Black Friday and Cyber Monday hauls. So we just decided to do a quick kind of chill video, kind of go through some of the pickups that have arrived, what we picked up, talk about the releases, and then also talk about uh, kind of some of these new releases that have been popping up with repackaging. There's been a lot of re-released material and content with just new packaging, and we kind of just wanted to delve into that a little bit and give you guys our thoughts on it and where it's going, and if this is kind of like a new staple in terms of collecting, where it's just now we're just going to keep purchasing re-released content. But we'll kind of get into that. Will, I think you spent a lot more than I did, bro, in terms of like releases. I have a small little stack here. I still have like 2 or 3 movies I think that are still on their way over here. But
Mm,
I think you from talking before we rolled, I think you got a lot more stuff than I did.
yeah. Yeah, you're talking about recovering, my freaking bank account's gonna need a while to recover after this.
Where you're the mega broke bastard now.
I'm the mega
And look
broke
at
bastard, as they
damn,
say in
dude.
New
Do
York
you
or
have
whatever.
any do you have any like that are still in the mail like you're waiting for or no?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I got enough orders
Shit.
to keep me going until February at this point. I don't know.
Well, crap. I don't know if you do we
Yeah.
want to just talk about those real quick before we start getting into the actual ones we have on our desk, or I mean, how many are you
I
waiting on?
mean, no, I don't feel like going, like, depressing myself. I'll talk about what I have, you know?
Sure.
I'll talk about what I have. Well, because here's the thing, I ordered from Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, I just don't know when those are gonna ship. I haven't gotten notifications from them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm assuming within the next I know they've started to send orders out, so, I'm sure I'll get the notification at some point, but with Vinegar Syndrome, they usually do subscribers first, and then they get to the
Yeah.
regular orders, so I'm sure within the next week or 2, I'll get a notification. But,
Yeah. That's
I
fine,
get some
dude.
yeah, I definitely get stuff I could talk about, though. I know there's one release that I think you and I both have. It's a pretty big, studio release, but other than that, I got, like, some Kino stuff, and then I got a couple, like, lesser known titles.
Well, let's go through the
So,
first title because now I'm curious. Unless did we talk about it already? Which one is it?
well, I have Alien,
Oh
Romulus.
yeah,
I
yeah,
picked
yeah,
that
yeah,
up.
yeah. Alien. I got Steelbook, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
There
get
it
the Steelbook.
is.
There it is.
Yeah, in
You
all its
know,
glory.
the Steelbook is cool. I actually really do like this Steelbook. The slipcover is getting a lot of love from people because of I think it's an embossed slipcover,
Yeah, it is. It's
um,
kind of
with
weird,
the
right?
face
I don't
hugger.
think I've seen that with a release before, where like the slip cover's getting like this, like significant attention over the Steelbook.
Yeah, usually the Steelbooks get a little more love, at least within my circles, but, yeah, no, a
I
lot of
like the
people
Steelbook though. Like I
I
mean,
think the
I don't know
Steelbook's
if it's just
cool.
me,
Yeah.
but like I really liked the art on it. It reminded me kind of like I don't know, like Star Wars ish, kind of like 1980s, late 70s kind of art.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is Walmart had an exclusive VHS edition of this that sold out, like, in, like, instantaneous. Like, I don't
Was
know
that
anybody
Walmart?
that's that was Walmart. It was a Walmart exclusive, I'm pretty sure,
Oh, I
and
didn't
dude,
know
but it
what
was like
retailer
it
that
was
was.
$60. It was
Are you
$60.
serious? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
And it's
so you know
sold out
what?
already?
It sold out a while ago. This is months back when they announced it, I'm pretty sure. But
Well,
this steelbook is pretty cool, though.
yeah,
I
dude.
dig this. I dig
I
the
liked
artwork.
it. I didn't like the price for it. I know I did that video a few
Yeah, it was a little steep.
like a few weeks back. I think mine came out to like 50 something dollars, like 55, $58, and I think that that's
Man,
a
yeah.
bit ridiculous and over the top, dude. I think that if that's going to be the new norm, I'm not going to be buying them as much. Obviously, like I'm a huge Alien fanatic, so this was a must
Yeah.
for me, but I'm not going to, be purchasing steelbooks at that price repeatedly. But yeah, dude, I love that artwork. It's nice. It's
Yeah.
clean. I wish there was some
It's a nice
embossing on
cover.
it though. If it had some
I
embossing on
do
it, it would be
too.
dope.
That would be cool. Yeah, and they could have maybe now that you're saying that, because I was thinking about what they did with the slipcover. It would have been cool if they did something with, like, the xenomorph on the cover. They could have
Yeah,
done a really
well,
cool job with that.
when I
They could
first
have done
saw the
something cool.
artwork, I thought they were gonna do, yeah, like this teeth and like the drool and stuff like that. Like
That would have been sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that would have been really cool, but it's a clean release. I like it, and I mean,
Yeah.
you did you see the transfer yet already, or
I
quick thoughts
watched it,
on it?
yeah. I mean, I it looked really good. I mean, again, my thoughts on the movie are pretty much the same as when
Mhm.
you know, saw it in the theater, so that hasn't changed, but yeah, I think the transfer looked pretty good. Again, the VFX was pretty seamless in this film. I really
Yeah,
like the use of practical. It looks really good on this transfer. Like I said, I think this really kind of brings that aspect of the movie out. And again, the cinematography and the atmosphere in this movie, I thought were probably the best things about it. You know,
yeah.
it felt like it was part of that universe. And yeah, man, I think the transfer does it justice, you know. But I liked it in the theater. I think it looked great in the theater, but it looks really
Mhm.
great or looked really great on my TV. So
I'm
yeah, I'll
excited to watch
definitely
it again.
try to watch it again. I'll probably give it another while before I see this, you know. But
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
it's a
it
good
was
pickup, dude. It's a
pretty
good
good.
release. I like it. It's pretty dope. Um,
Yeah.
what other ones did you got? I mean, like the only one I do want to mention two I got in the mail, or three, I think. So I did pre-order. Well, you and I did that one video of what we would buy. I did actually pre-order 8.5 for
Oh, okay.
Criterion.
Cool.
So I got that one coming in. I got, I think from Barnes and Noble's Red Shoes. I picked up Red Shoes
Oh,
from
nice.
Barnes and Noble, and also crap with Citizen Kane. I saw
Okay.
that because I've been like laxing on that one, or like I haven't. I told myself I'd pick it up like the first time it came out. I never did.
Mm.
So, and I know they had the issue with like the disc or something like that when it first got released. Like one of the discs, like were they had issues
Oh,
on it, and they had to like issue
yeah.
refunds and disc swaps and all that stuff. So I was waiting for all that drama to end.
Yeah. I'm not sure I remember that, but I think I didn't buy it until long after that because I didn't get it right at release. It was actually I don't know when it was released originally. It's been a couple years, I think.
I don't think it's been that
Um,
long, dude. I think it's been like
really?
a year and a half. Yeah.
Oh, so it was maybe like 2022 or 2023?
Yeah. I mean, I could pull it up on
That's
Blu-ray.
interesting.
Let me see.
Yeah, and that
Citizen
see, this is
Kane.
the thing, and I've talked about this with you, and Chase and I have did a video on it. We talk about like the different labels, and like Criterion's never been a label that I've worried about, you know, copies selling out,
Yeah, they're always going to
right?
be there.
Yeah, so that's the thing with their releases though. Like I tend to lose track with Criterion more than anybody as far as when their stuff gets released because it's part of that mentality. Like I know they're always going to be there for the most part, so I don't
Hmm.
necessarily worry about their release schedule, you know, unless it's like a title I really want. Um,
Yeah. But at least it procrastinate it's for
so
me, at least for me, it turns into procrastination where it's like,
mm,
I told myself I'd get this movie forever, and I just checked, it's 2022 it came out, so 2 years ago.
okay, so yeah, a couple
Um,
years, yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I got those in the mail, dude. I pulled the trigger on
mm,
Citizen Kane because 'cause I'm like, it's been a minute, but,
yeah.
yeah, I have a little stack here. I know you got a bigger stack, so you might as well start going through some of yours first, dude, because I don't think
Um,
my stack's as big as yours.
yeah, let's go through. I mean, so some of these movies were blind buys, but they were highly recommended. One of these movies I
Okay.
saw, but let me go through. I'll throw out a cult pick first and foremost. That I've been wanting to get for a long time. This is by a director named Sergio Martino. It's called American Rickshaw. But American Rickshaw, let me just read you this because it's just people were telling me to pick this up, and I've been wanting to get it for a long time, and I finally found it on sale over the holiday. But it says after a stripper tricks him into filming a sex tape, Scott Edwards, I guess, is played by Olympic gold medalist Mitch Gaylord. I'm not sure who that is, but apparently he's a gold medalist. He's a rickshaw runner in Miami, Florida. He
Okay.
becomes kind of caught in this murder of an evangelist's son when he inadvertently takes the wrong videotape. So he gets involved in this whole scheme. And then I guess him and the stripper and an Asian witch. That's all it says.
What
They set out to clear his name because I guess he gets framed for the murder, and they set out to set the record straight.
what
Um,
the hell?
yeah, but you
Interesting.
know, yeah, this is Sergio Martino. I mean, he's pretty big as far as like you know, Italian genre cinema. Like I mentioned, he's up there with, you know, Lamberto Bava and all those guys.
Mhm.
So, you know, being fans of those directors and being fans of some of his other work, like All the Colors of the Dark, which is a really cool movie, but American Rickshaw, that's a cool little slipcover there.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, that's
And
actually cool. I see the actual, like, cutout with
yeah,
the cat and, like yeah, that looks dope.
and the title is embossed, which is kinda cool. It's got that gloss finish there.
See, that's
So,
I know we were just talking about
cool.
Alien slipcover. I'm like, that's the I mean, you can have some nice slipcovers.
Yeah. Well, see, this is what is crazy is I mean, this is a boutique release by Cauldron, and Cauldron
Mhm.
Films, for those of you that are familiar with them, I mean, they put out more recently one of their biggest titles was City of the Living Dead. You know, they put that out, and that's been a title that people were looking at that got a lot of attention. But yeah, Cauldron does some good stuff, and even the back, man. And there's the Italian
Oh, that's
name on
clean,
there.
yeah.
But it's cool, dude. I mean, they did a really good job with the cover art and the just even the color palette, like really
Yeah.
rich colors on there. I mean, again, this is the kind of stuff that like I love to have on the shelf because like the spine even I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a
how well you
clean
can see
slip.
that,
Yeah, no, look and
but
it's
it
embossed on the spine too.
it just pops out at you, you know, like
Yeah.
makes you want to watch it. So, and I can't wait to watch this. I'll report
Is that a
back and let you
4K
know how
transfer or
absurd it
no?
is. No, this is a just a Blu-ray. So this is
Blu-ray?
a 1080p.
It sounds absurd. It sounds
Yeah,
like you just
it
wanna,
most
like, get
likely
drunk
is.
and watch it.
But this is the kind of stuff like this is right up my alley. So
Yeah,
this is in the stack of stuff to watch. So that's
that's
my
dope.
first other pick other than Alien. But yeah, man, it's like if they can do stuff like this for a movie like a little movie
Yeah.
like this, I mean, why can't they could do it for Alien. They could have done a really cool like embossed slipcover. You know, that would have been pretty dope.
Yeah,
But
I don't know what it is with the embossing, like, I mean, I've seen some of the Marvel steelbooks do it, and it's like, I don't
yeah.
know. I mean, that's Disney too. I mean, I keep forgetting this is a Disney release, so it's like you could
Yeah,
have done the same thing, but
right.
who knows? What else you got?
So this other one is a complete blind buy. I mean, not that I have seen American Rickshaw, but I've seen enough clips from it to
Mhm.
know that it's a movie I wanted to watch. But this is one that was also recommended to me. This is called I Want to Get Even.
Was someone on the
Um,
Discord talking about that or on Reddit?
they may have been, I don't know, but I'm in a I'm in a few different, you know, communities on
Yeah,
Discord.
I think someone
So
was
and some
talking about
people were
that.
talking
That's
about
Cauldron
this.
too, right?
This is actually Neon Eagle Video.
Oh, shit. It
Yeah,
looks
but
very
like I
similar to the Cauldron one where it's like you got the
similar
embossed
style.
title. Yeah,
But see, yeah,
and
you
the
got like the
glossy kinda
gloss.
yeah,
Really cool. Really
that's
cool. I love
clean.
that title. So, but this is actually I'm gonna just let me just read some of this here. Um, this is an Indonesian like revenge exploitation thriller, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
shit. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and apparently this is from the early 80s, but the fact that it's like Indonesian and like this is the kind of stuff that I love that like some of these boutiques are doing. They're finding these movies like dude, I would have never found
Yeah.
this on my own. No,
Maybe on
I'm saying
Tubi. Maybe
like,
on
you know,
Tubi.
maybe on Tubi, maybe it is on
Yeah.
Tubi, who knows? But um I just love the fact like when people say like we're in a golden age of physical media, I mean, as much as some of the prices are getting like up there, and we're going to talk
Mhm.
about that towards the end of the video with the
Yeah.
packaging, but we can get stuff like this where it's like these films that have otherwise gone like unheard of have just kind of flown under the radar or like getting love and attention from a lot of these boutique labels. And I just think, you know, now is a better time than ever to get into some of this stuff. And it's like I would have never known about this movie, but now I get to watch it, you know, and own it. So, you know, it's just pretty cool. But yeah, it's like an Indonesian revenge exploitation thriller, I guess. So I'm excited to check out I Want to Get Even.
That looks dope.
So
I like it. How
yeah,
much did
man.
that one run you on was it on sale?
Oh yeah, this is like 20, I don't know, 23 or 24,
That's not
something
bad.
like that. So
See,
not
look at
bad.
that. That's what I'm talking about, dude. It's like kinda what you mentioned. It's like these releases where it's like these kind of like obscure movies no one's ever heard of, and then they're still
Yeah.
like packaged with care, and they're
Right.
still like they're reasonably priced. Like for that
Yeah.
set, like for that packaging for 23 bucks, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
How many more you got?
I got 4.
4? I'll do
Yeah.
2. I mean, like, mine are pretty standard, man, because you know, like, my taste in movies don't
Mm.
kind of venture into the obscure like yours and Chase does. But this one, I sent you guys a
Yeah.
picture of because you know you guys know I was excited for this one.
Oh, hell
This
yeah.
one came in the mail today, so I'm, like, super excited to delve into this one. I've already been reading that the transfer looks fantastic. Um,
Hell yeah.
so, yeah, I'm excited for this one, dude. This was like a grail for me. I've been waiting for this to come out on 4K forever. I love the novel. It's one of my
Mhm.
favorite movies of all time, so I'm super stoked for that one.
Cool.
This one I popped in 2 days ago, actually. The Seventh Seal.
Oh, yeah.
You and I were talking about it during the Criterion sale. I just hadn't watched the 4K, and dude, this is just like it's such a beautiful movie to watch. Like
It
the
looks
black
really
and
good.
white. Yeah, dude, the
Yeah.
contrast is just so freaking incredible. And I know you and I think we were talking about like just black and white movies. There's so many black and white movies that I've seen that I think honestly would probably fall if I made like top 25 transfers, like there'd probably be a few black and whites in there.
Mm.
Casablanca, Seventh Seal. I think that these movies just look like phenomenal on, especially on OLED, where the contrast is just like it's like perfect. But this was a good one. Have you seen this one before?
I have, yeah, the Seventh
Yeah.
Seal. I have a copy of that, so I have that same
Okay.
copy because I
Yeah.
had purchased it earlier. I think during the last sale. I'm trying to remember when that was. It was, like, earlier part of the year. I didn't get much, though.
Yeah.
It was like I
Spring.
got that and one other title.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a great movie, dude. I had a blast watching it. I honestly kinda wanna watch it
yeah.
again just because it's you don't get, movies like that anymore where it's just kind of like, like imagery. It's I mean, there's a story there, but it's just kind of like imagery and the narrative is just really just driven by, themes, so to speak. It's
Mhm.
not like just a straight cut story. And
Yeah.
I just had a blast watching it, man. So that one was a fun pickup for sure. I have a few more, but I wanna obviously get your pickup
Yeah, I'll
list,
I'll I'll
done.
kinda roll through these other ones. I only have 4. I mean, there's 4 of them here, and some of these are I've never owned these on Blu-ray. Well, I owned one of them on Blu-ray, so I'll talk about that one first.
Yeah.
Um, and this is a film from the early '70s. I wanna say '71, I think. Yeah, '71. It actually says on the back. That's Fright.
Oh, yeah, I
This is
think
a
w were we
4K.
were we talking about that one with,
I think
Chase
we
or no?
did. I think
Yeah.
we talked about this on I don't know if I mentioned it when we were looking at stuff that we were gonna buy. I just don't know if this was on sale, but I actually found it for a reasonable price. I bought this, during the Kino had their Winter Wonderland sale.
Oh, okay.
So, I picked this one up, but this is one that Scream Factory, I believe, actually had a Blu-ray of, which I had.
Oh, okay.
Um, and I sold my Blu-ray of it a little while back, and I when I saw that Kino was doing the 4K, I kinda got excited because I mean, Scream Factory lately, I haven't purchased a lot of their stuff,
They've been
but
kind of on
I
a
do
decline
own
a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Chase is more into that, like, them as a label, I think out of
Mhm.
the 3 of us, like, as of late, but yeah, I mean, I own so many Scream Factory Blu-rays, and I didn't have this one. I had gotten rid of it a while back, like, a couple years ago. So, yeah, this was kind of a no-brainer to me. I figured, "You know what? I don't have the Blu-ray, now I can get the 4K." But yeah, dude, this is kind of like an early I guess you could say, like, an early example of a slasher movie. It's kinda like a light slasher movie, if you will.
That's when you
So
guys brought it up. It's when we did the history of slashers. You guys
Oh,
had brought
that's
that
right, okay.
movie up. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, but, the Susan George is in this, and if you've seen Straw Dogs, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Mhm.
She,
Yeah,
pretty good actress, but yeah, Fright was one of them.
that's a good pickup.
I'll just run through so this is another one. This is with, Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. It's No Way Out.
No, I have not. What
No Way Out. This
is
is
that a
from the late
Kino?
'80s. Yep, this is Kino as well.
Okay. No, I've never seen that movie.
So, yeah, with, I mean, pretty good political thriller. I'm a big fan, and I've talked about these before. They don't really make movies like this anymore, in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
these late '80s and early '90s. I mean, even early to mid '90s, like political thrillers.
Yeah.
I'm really into these kinds of movies, and that's something I think I want to start talking about a little more, in the future on the channel. Just kind of going back into the late '80s and early '90s, and kind of, taken some dives into these movies because I don't know. I think it's a genre that like a lot of people don't necessarily talk about. I mean,
It is
everybody knows like the
overlooked.
Harrison Ford films of the '90s, like Air Force
Mhm.
One and movies like that, like Clear and Present Danger. I love that genre. And this kind of fits right in there. So, and again,
So
like
is that
Gene
one more like
Hackman,
action or like more like thriller drama?
this is more, it's not, it's more like a thriller drama than it is
Okay.
action. So, where those Harrison Ford films that I mentioned, those are clearly more like the political action thriller,
Yeah.
I would call those, because there's a political, subplot to them, but they're
Mhm.
mostly action oriented. Whereas this is more of like I guess you could say like there's more tension, more
Yeah.
intimate moments in this one. So I
I
think
was just
this
curious if
is
it's
a
like
really
a kinda
underrated
like
movie.
Oliver Stone or Brian De Palma kinda political kinda
Kind of.
thriller.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of. I'm trying to remember. Let's see who directed this. This was Roger
What year was it?
Donaldson. I'm not this was
Donald
1987 by
87.
Roger Donaldson. I'm not too familiar with his work. I'm curious what else
Yeah,
he
I'm looking. He
directed.
sounds familiar. So he
Yeah.
did I'm trying to think of like recent ones, dude. Here that I mean, I'm going through his filmography. I can't really see any. No Way Out. There's The Getaway, Species, Dante's Peak, 13 Days, The Recruit, The
Oh, he
World's
did
Fastest
Dante's Peak.
Indian.
Okay, yeah, Dante's Peak I'm a fan of. Really cool
Yeah, that was I
disaster
think it was
movie.
that like Pierce Bronson or something like that.
Pierce
Let me take
Brosnan and, Linda Hamilton. Yeah.
Was that the volcano one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember I saw that in
Not to be
theaters actually.
confused with Volcano with Tommy Lee
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember Volcano with time
Um,
and it was the same year, wasn't it, with the volcano and
yeah, I think so, yeah.
I remember I
Um,
saw that in theaters as a kid, that's crazy.
yeah, and then I'm gonna go through I got 2 more, so I don't know if you wanna do, one of yours?
Yeah, I got, so this one I haven't seen this movie in so long, dude, and I remember I enjoyed it so much when I saw it, but this is another Criterion release, it's, Akira
Okay.
Kurosawa's, Dreams.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and I really loved this movie when I saw it, dude, just kind of like I know it was, like, different kinda, like stories or vignettes kind of like back to back just based off of dreams that he's had, like reoccurring dreams in his life. And I
Mm,
remember just the cinematography and a lot of the colors in this movie were really beautiful to look at. So I picked it up on 4K. So I'm excited to see this one on 4K. It should be a pretty solid watch.
nice.
And then speaking of Akira Kurosawa, because it's the one I kept saying I would get and I didn't pick up what was BFI
Oh, hell
Seven
yeah.
Samurai. Yeah. This was not dude, on Orbit, this was only like 33 bucks.
Yeah, that's not you gotta let me know how that is, by the way, because does forgive me if I'm mistaken, but does Criterion have their 4K out? Do they
They
also have a
do.
4K out?
Yeah, but I actually
Okay.
went with this one because you and someone else, I think, had talked about the encoding was better with the BFI releases typically.
That's what I
Um,
was told, yeah, and
yeah,
I've based on some of their other stuff that they put out, people have said that because it's a region B release that it or it's usually they do a lot of region B releases that the encoding's a little bit better, so,
yeah, and I mean,
but
BFI's had some solid releases. I have a few BFIs that look phenomenal,
yeah.
and this movie this is just one of those, dude, that's like, it's gonna be maybe I'll probably the next month I'll watch it, but it's like, you gotta sit down for 3 hours to
Oh, yeah, you got
to
that's
watch
like
it.
a
It's a
whole
long movie.
afternoon, you gotta dedicate to that, yeah,
Yeah, dude, and I mean, I've seen this movie, like, twice, and I love it. It's, I think I always say it's, like, the
yeah,
foundation of a lot of movies today, just
for
with the
sure.
plot and the narrative, but I'm excited for that one, and, let me just kill these off, dude, because I got, like, 2 more here. This was, like, I picked up Eastern Promises just 'cause
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
really love this movie. Love it. It's fucking fantastic, and shout out to Chase because he'd be
Yeah, man.
happy I got a Cronenberg release for
Yeah.
a pickup, but
No,
I mean,
that's a
this is
really good one.
one of my favorite Cronenberg movies, dude. It's fucking fantastic, and Viggo Mortensen in this movie is just like fucking dude, he
Fantastic in that
kills it.
movie,
He's
yeah.
fantastic in this movie, so I'm excited. I don't know how the transfer is. I haven't looked up anything on the transfer for it, um, but I'm
It's
excited to
pretty
watch it.
good from what I remember. I watched it, trying to remember when I watched it. I think I watched it actually, it was this year. It was, like, several months ago, like, before I got busy, probably, like, early spring, I wanna say.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Yeah, it
been
was pretty good.
slacking, dude. And this one
Yeah.
I was texting you and Chase about because I had to go through Diabolic just to get it's a Terminator
Oh, man.
Steelbook, dude, because Walmart screwed
Yeah,
up my fucking
Walmart
pre-order, dude. I
slacking
was
big time over there.
Dude, I got so mad. They pretty much I
Yeah.
pre-ordered this right when the pre-orders went up, and then when the week it came out, I kept looking at my order and it just wasn't moving. And then like it
Yeah.
was like 4 days after it was supposed to be shipped, I got on chat with Walmart and they're like, "Yeah, we're out of stock." And I'm like,
What
"Dude,
the
I
hell, man?
I
What's
ordered
going
that the
on over
first
there?
week." Yeah, so I luckily
Yeah.
Diabolic had it for a few more bucks. So I had to pay a little
Yeah.
extra, but
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't seen that transfer. I'm building a healthy tower of movies I have not watched yet, and it's
Mm.
getting bad, but I'll probably try to watch that one before the holidays out too.
Yeah. I gotta watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a double feature with that one and the second one because I kind of feel like the second one is due for a rewatch, even though the transfer's dog shit.
Transfer
But
sucks. Yeah,
you know,
but
it
yeah,
is what
that's
it
what I got
is.
so far, dude. I have a few in the mail, like I said, I'm waiting for, but
Hmm.
I didn't go overboard. Um, but yeah, I did kind of splurge on some of the Criterion releases.
Yeah. I think it'll be funny, when I get my shit in, it'll be funny for me to justify to you why I bought some of the garbage that I bought. I think that'd be
Hey,
a good
man.
video. We'll
I
look
mean,
forward to
some of
that.
them might be I mean, I don't know. I know you said some of them were blind watches, but, I mean, you
Some
never
of them.
know.
Yeah. Well, I got 2 more. I'll bang these out real
Yeah.
quick, and then we'll get into
Let me
that
see what you
packaging
got.
discussion, but
Yeah.
1997's Turbulence with Ray Liotta.
Oh my
Um,
god, dude.
yeah,
Oh my
I
god, I haven't
mean
seen that movie in forever.
yeah. Well, that's what I said too, but okay, so did this movie need a 4K? Probably not. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think so, man. I mean, I remember the
it
way it was shot, it was just super,
yeah, dude,
like,
it was
cringy or, like,
very
kinda, like, dirty, like
yeah, and that's what people are saying with this transfer, but I was like, "You know what, dude? I'm just gonna go ahead and get it because it was cheap enough." The Blu-ray wasn't that much cheaper, and frankly, I get the 4K and the Blu-ray. So,
yeah, there you go, and
I have
that
both
one's Kino
anyway.
too, right?
Yeah, this was Kino, and again, this was on sale. Dude, it was like 17 bucks. So, for that
Yeah,
price,
man.
I feel like for a 4K and a Blu-ray, I just went ahead with it.
That's not bad at
But
all.
this isn't the best movie, I'll be honest. It's not one of Ray Liotta's best, but I'm just a fan of his,
Mhm.
so I had to have it in the collection. So,
For sure, man. I mean,
and
that's
again,
it's
another late
it's a movie of
90s.
its time. I think
It
that's what
is.
it is. It's just one of those movies you watch it, it's like, okay, like, this is, like it's just a
It
movie
is.
that encapsulated that era, and it is what it
Yeah.
is. But it's not a bad movie in my opinion. It's kinda fun. I don't know if it's just because I remember that movie specifically playing while I was growing up, like, on TV a lot. Like, it would come on the
Right.
TV, and then we'd watch it, and it was just kind of
Yeah.
like not a staple, but it was just like, "Oh, Turbulence is on."
Yeah, I had seen it on, like, probably, like, one of the like, HBO or something way, way back in the day, but it that's not the only I don't know, it was on, like, once or twice every now and then. I remember seeing it
Mhm.
when I was younger, like, in the early 2000s, and that was at that point, like, 5 or 6 years after it came out, but, my
Yeah.
last one real quick was a blind buy, but I saw the cover of this, and watched the trailer, and I was sold. So it's called Rolling Thunder, and I'm gonna show
Rolling
you that.
Thunder.
It's like
That
a
poster
fucking
looks familiar.
Rolling Vengeance,
Oh,
excuse me,
Rolling
not Rolling
Vengeance.
Thunder. Rolling Thunder. What the hell am I talking about? You know why? Because I'm looking at my fucking Blu-ray or 4K of Tropic Thunder on my thing over there.
You're like rolling actually,
I'm
that
getting
sounds like a
confused.
pretty badass '80s movie, Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder, but Rolling Vengeance with a
Vengeance.
fucking monster truck with a giant
There you go.
drill on the front of it with
With flames
flames
coming out.
shooting out the back, dude. I don't even recognize any, but it says when a clan of drunken goons gets off scot-free after senselessly killing a young trucker's family, the trucker, played by Don Michael Paul, who's famous for Robot Wars, everybody, if you've ever seen that,
Uh,
takes matters into his own hands by building the ultimate monster truck to even the score. I mean, dude, that right there, and dude, this is like I don't know, this is like 15 bucks. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get it.
yeah.
So
Why not, dude?
again,
I mean, the
I'll
premise is funny because it's like instead of just
oh
like,
man,
grabbing a gun and and doing his thing, he has to build a giant
yeah.
monster truck to
And dude,
exact
it's
his
got like a
revenge.
giant drill and like spits flames.
Yeah.
And how the hell do you not? I just hope that it's justified on film, like on camera. Like I hope we actually
Yeah.
get to see this thing like demolish other people's vehicles and shit.
It
But
looks like a
again,
solid, like, B movie, like,
yeah,
it
well,
looks
that's what
like
I
it could be
thought of, man.
fun.
It's like it's like a revenge thriller, except like on wheels, hopefully. So I hope that I'm in for that. The last Kino blind buy that I bought was this movie called Stunt Rock, which paid off tremendously. It was fucking I loved it. So
Stunt Rock. I don't think I've heard of that
hopefully,
movie.
yeah, I maybe I'll throw a review up for it at some point. I got to watch it again because I had so much fun. It was just everything I wanted in an exploitation like action movie. But yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
it,
dope.
man. That's it for this haul for this
Yeah,
day.
for this
So
fall. And I'm sure you got like piles of packages that are still waiting to come in. But
mm,
we were also talking about this because you and I before we were rolling, we were just talking about like what we were buying and why, and I think we kind of delved into the territory of just like re-released material because I think the thing that set it off for me was I got a ping on I don't know if it was the Steelbook server or our server, but a Shining Steelbook for Walmart exclusive Shining Steelbook, and it
okay,
just
yeah,
triggered me, dude. I'm just really tired of repurchasing movies just because it's like different packaging, and
yeah.
it's been happening a lot lately with like just especially like steelbook releases. I feel like that's kind of where it's been kind of focused on. But I mean, we've had so many, like anniversary editions and limited editions with like slips coming out, and it's just like I used to give into it, but now I'm just kind of exhausted.
Yeah, and I saw that Shining Steelbook. It was at it's the red one with the axe just
Yeah, the
kinda
axe
in
in the
the,
door. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, eh, at first I was like, "Oh, it looks kinda cool," but then I'm looking at it again, I'm like, "This looks, like, very minimal." Like, and sometimes that works, but
Yeah.
for me, I'm looking at it again, there's something about it that just is off to me
It looks
about
kinda
it.
lazy.
Yeah, well, that's what I think I'm getting at, is that I kinda wish they would've done something a little more creative. I mean, they had that other one a while back, which was kinda like the carpet design,
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I got that one.
the yellow and black one with that pattern on it. You know what I'm talking about.
Ta-da! This one
Yeah,
right
that
here.
one, I mean, that's cool, I mean, that one,
Yeah, and it
but
has
again,
the
it's like,
all work, no play, and it kinda like yeah, I mean, this is
yeah,
kinda basic, very minimalistic, but,
yeah,
um, it's creative.
yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
But dude, I'm happy with like the standard 4K that I have. And again, I've
Yeah.
talked about this before with certain movies. I tend to get re-releases because like Halloween, if they re-release that, I'll probably buy it depending on the packaging, just because
Mhm.
it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So again with the Thing, I own a few different versions of the Thing. I mean, there's certain movies that I'll double dip on, but I mean, I don't know, man. Lately, when it's like they're just re-releasing stuff
Just to
over and
do it.
over again. It's like just for the sake of like putting it like, why do we need another Shining Steelbook? Why?
I don't know, and it's Walmart. I've noticed it's been with Walmart lately, and I noticed it's been since they taken over the physical media game that there's just
Right.
been this kind of
Well, they're
surge of
doing
just
another one. It's like Dune Part 2. That's another one that I saw recently
oh, is there
where
another one coming out?
another Dune Part 2, well, this is a Walmart exclusive Steelbook. But it's like I already have the one that I have that I love. I'm not gonna go and buy it again. And I
Yeah,
don't know, sometimes they reissue these, man, and the artwork just isn't, it's just not impressive. It's like, they hired some fucking intern to like do the artwork and put it
yeah.
out there and slap it together, and like that's what you get. And it's like, dude, sometimes I wish studios would license some of these movies out to boutique releases and let them
Mhm.
deal, like, you want to sell something, like let a boutique
Go
label
through
do it and
boutique,
put it out
yeah.
there, and you'll
'Cause
definitely make your money.
I mean, with boutiques, they're just, like, so creative with the packaging and the cover art, and they actually
Yeah.
put love and effort into actually creating something that's like, "Hey, this is worth rebuying." And even with, like, like, additional special features and, touching up the transfer, that stuff to me is different. I think if it's like if you have a re-release where it's like, you're upgrading the transfer, you got some new special features, you got some like creative packaging all put together in that fashion, then I'm very much inclined to repurchase it. But when it's just like, hey, here's the same transfer and here's the just it's just new steelbook art. It's just kind of redundant at that point. And then I know you had gotten triggered because I think we kind of delved into the realm of the the Texas Chainsaw Massacre uh
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know what is it even called? It's like a limited edition anniversary chainsaw edition. What
yeah,
is it
it's like
called?
the limited edition, 50th anniversary. I think there's a steel book. I think there's a VHS in there. I mean, dude, that thing started retailing when they first announced it, it was like $300, okay?
Yeah,
It's currently $240 on Amazon.
240. Didn't it hit like 180 or 190 or something during like Cyber Monday?
I don't know. It's possible that it was lower than the current price, but like, dude, even right now, I mean, $240, that's like 40, I mean, what is it?
Dude,
40%. It's like a 40% decrease
it's
from what it
crazy.
was.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know what the
40%.
original MSRP what was the original MSRP?
I don't know.
I
I'm
think it was
looking at,
like mid 300s or something.
possibly, yeah, or 300 or 350 or something like that. I mean, but dude, it's like you get the chainsaw, you get the VHS, which is kinda cool. But I mean, dude, I already have the VHS. I already have
Mhm.
the slipcover. I have the
Yeah.
steelbook with the original poster art. So it's like I don't like what who's gonna
Well,
spend that much money on this? And then it's like, where are you gonna put this shit? Like,
that's the thing that pisses me off, right? It's like I don't think they think of that. Like, a lot of collectors, and I don't know if we made a video about that, just like running out of space, right? It's like where do you put a
yeah, I
freaking
think we've talked
chainsaw?
about it. But that's dude, that's like one of the plights of like every physical media collector. It's just part of the
Mhm.
struggle of like collecting in the modern era is just space. You know, and it's like, dude, I don't have a fucking emporium where I can just have this stuff sitting around everywhere. I mean, I got limited space as it is. And I can't like, my place is my place, like, the
Yeah.
man cave or whatever you want to call it, the movie den, whatever the word is. Like you have your
Mhm.
office there. I got my room down here. I already have shelves upstairs with more Blu-rays on them. And if I
Mhm.
try to move anything into any other part of the house, I'll get screamed at because
Oh,
but
same.
dude, it's like, you know how it is, man. Like,
Yeah, dude. And I think it's
I
fair.
only
Yeah, I
have
mean,
so
we have our
much
space.
space for this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
dude. And it's like, I can't, like,
And that thing
I've
is
been
huge,
collecting.
dude.
It's unnecessarily just
Massive. I mean, it's
over.
I
I
think a
mean, the
good measure of
chainsaw is
this
kind of
too.
cool, but I don't need a friggin' chainsaw, dude. I said this before. You just go to the fucking
You
hardware
don't
store and buy a chainsaw, paint it, and fucking there you go. You're
There you
good.
go. Yeah. But I mean, I mean, the gauge I used was when I think, because Chase was on when we were talking about it. And I mean, he's like the biggest Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan of all time. And the fact that even he was like, what am I gonna do with this shit?
Too
You know
much
what I
money,
mean? Like it's
man. It's too much
too
money.
much money, too much of like I've already bought, these releases already. And it's like, what am I gonna do with it? But I think that's where a lot of the focus is now is just kind of like repackaging these releases into limited edition sets, box sets, and it just
Yeah.
gets kind of tiresome. Where I've actually, going back to the Alien release where we were talking about the Steelbook because you had mentioned that VHS that sold out. I even think the VHS thing is kind of almost like a repackaging ploy in a way. I mean, it's cool going back to VHS and the nostalgia of it, but it's like I just see that as like another packaging ploy. It's like, people aren't popping these
Yeah.
VHS and I mean, maybe some people might. I mean, I don't know, but I think most people are probably
No,
buying them, leaving them in
dude,
shrink wrap, and then just
I
putting them
think
on the
you're
shelf.
100% right. You're 100% right, dude. The majority of people who are buying this shit on VHS, most likely, I would bet at least 40% of them are not
Mhm.
watching it.
Yeah, I'd bet even more, bro. I'd put my money on, like,
I was
60.
gonna
Maybe
say,
I'm
I
just,
was
like,
being
the
a
cynic.
little yeah, I was being a little conservative with that estimate. I mean, it's probably more than that, but I mean, that's the thing, man. It's like how many people actually have a working VHS player
It's
or
just
a VCR with a TV that can support it? I mean, I do because
Mhm.
I only have one though. I don't,
Yeah.
and if that one goes, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to have to find one refurbished, because
We were
like every
joking in
now
the
and then.
server of just I mean, like, you hit up Goodwill, dude, there's so many.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah,
then you
but,
gotta deal with, like, the
if you want a
RCA
good one and you do
connections
your
and
research, there's
yeah.
certain ones that were made better, like, certain
Mhm.
brands that people who are in the know that, like, are big into the analog stuff and VHS, they know
Yeah.
which brands are out there that are worth the money and the ones to look for that are, you know, over time, they tend to last longer, but yeah, that's the thing, man, like, I don't watch a lot of my VHS. Every now and then, I'll pop one in just to kinda get the feel
Mhm.
of it, but I will say there's certain movies that I think are better on VHS. In fact, Chase and I have talked about this. I think Texas Chainsaw is one of those movies. Although I love the 4K transfer, I think it looks
Mhm.
amazing. There's just something about watching certain movies on older formats, like especially like something like Blair Witch Project. Dude, watching
Yeah.
that on a VHS, it's like you're watching something that you're not supposed to be watching, and I
There's a
love that
cringiness
feel.
to it.
There's a grittiness to it, there's a rawness, especially with horror films. I think it works, more to the advantage with with horror films. I think they
Yeah.
benefit from that more so than any other genre. But that being said, I mean, dude, a lot of the VHS stuff, as much as I love that like Walmart is doing VHS for like Alien Romulus and
Mhm.
before that Terrifier, like Terrifier 1 and 2. I love seeing that stuff, but I just hope that people are actually going to try to watch these things instead of just buying them for the sake of buying them for fucking $60, and then you see them on eBay, people are trying to sell them for like 100
Yeah.
bucks. Like I can't stand that stuff, man. It's just that's the stuff that turns me off and just kind of discourages me from like trying to go after this stuff. Cuz
Well, and that
okay, Alien Romulus on VHS, I would actually try to watch it. Like I would watch that.
yeah, I think that'd be
But
fun. I mean, I think it just for the nostalgia of it, but I think that
yeah.
it's I mean, VHS, I think it's just kind of like this I don't know, dude. I just feel like it's just this ploy just to kind of just for them to make more money. I don't and this is the part that really pisses me off is the exclusivity of it. I think that that's what drives people to buy it. Like it's like this
Right.
like okay, it's limited like you said it just sold out like instantaneously. And I think that's the problem I
Yeah.
have with a lot of re-releases, even with boutiques in some degree, not so much like Criterion like you said where it's always going to be there, but it's like I think a lot of people just buy these things cuz it's like it's not going to be there. Like the second site, I freaking smacked myself in the face because I was going to buy that Blair Witch limited edition. I had it in my cart and I just procrastinated, and then it sold out.
Yeah.
Um, but I think people just like let me just buy it because I know that shit's going to sell out, and then it's going to be worth
Yeah.
120 bucks down the line. And I don't like that. I wish it was kind of like let's keep popping these out as long as we can until people don't want to buy them anymore and let
Yeah.
people, be able to purchase them. Because when you take away the exclusivity of it, I think you leave yourself with just people who really want to watch it or just really really care about that release and want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think with like the FOMO, we've talked about the
Mhm.
FOMO plenty of times. And dude, I'm guilty of it. Like I've fallen
Oh, me
for it,
too. Yeah,
plenty of times. So I'm not saying that I'm like, above it all or
same.
not like suckered into some of this stuff because I totally fall for it too. But I just think it's something that as consumers, we just got to be more wary of. And I think people should just, and there was some other videos that I've seen recently by some other creators that are kind of talking about the same thing. Like, and people get like stressed out over like missing releases. And it's like, it's just not worth it, dude. Like, it's
No,
really
dude,
not worth it. Like, oh
it's
shit.
not.
Now I got to spend 350. How am I going to come up with this money to buy this, 50th anniversary box that I don't even have room for in the first place? Like, dude, that's just not worth it, man, to
No,
me,
it's not, dude. Like, if it's stressing
you
you
know?
out and it's causing any kind of financial
Yeah.
stress, then, I mean, I think that's a big red flag there, but,
Yeah, well, you
um
know what though? I'm glad that like for example, like that particular set, with respect to the label, I mean, we're seeing what the actual value of that is. I mean,
mhm,
apparently it's not worth $350 or whatever it was retailing for. It's more like I think the price it's going for now is probably closer to what it should have gone for initially.
yeah,
And I'm not saying I would even buy it at that price, but, you
mhm,
know, I think it's a little more justified for what you're getting, you know?
absolutely.
Um,
I mean, I don't even think I'd pay like, I think a fair price for that thing probably like 180, 150 to 180, and I wouldn't even buy it for
yeah, and
that.
see
Uh,
that's a lot lower, right? So you're on your based on the value that you think you would get out of it. I mean,
mhm,
that range is much lower than even it is right now. So that's the thing. I mean, I think at the end of the day, people just need to like look at some of this stuff and realize like, okay, is this actually worth me not only trying to like first of all, it's like the money is one thing. The other thing is like finding the time to like make sure you like secure these releases because that's the other thing is
mhm,
like it's crazy that, like, with some of these releases, like, if you don't keep an eye on this stuff, you're not gonna get it. Like, you're gonna miss it,
Yeah,
you know?
instantaneously. Like the what was that
So
Beavers, the Vinegar Syndrome Beavers release, what the hell is
oh,
that
and
movie
Hundreds
called?
of Beavers or
Hundreds
whatever,
of
that, like,
Beavers.
sold
Yeah, dude.
out in, like, dude, sold
And
out
I'm
in,
like,
like, less
"What?"
than 20 minutes, you know?
And
And
I'm
then
like, "It's not
well,
anything that." I mean, I know it's a well-received movie from what people have said. I've never seen it, but, like, a lot of people say
right.
it's really solid, but it wasn't
Yeah.
anything that I feel like people were, like, clamoring over prior. It's like, "I need this movie as, 4K kind
Yeah.
of set," but the FOMO kicked in and, man, just everyone went crazy with it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, dude. Like we saw it with the keep too. And we don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
to
the Keep.
get into that too much because there's so many
Mhm,
people that have already talked about this, but like the keep is just a shining example of like how bad FOMO is.
mhm.
That thing had 12,000 units, which is
Jesus.
a lot. Like that's a
Mhm.
lot for Vinegar
Yeah.
Syndrome. Like there's other stuff that's sitting on there that's had 12,000 units that still hasn't sold out, and it's been titles that have been on there for years and they still have limited editions in stock. And yet they keep a movie that probably again 40 to 60% of people that bought it have probably never seen.
Never seen it, yeah.
And that thing sold out in less than like, dude, less than 48 hours, that thing was gone. Like,
That's
that to
mind-boggling,
me,
dude.
like, blows my mind, and I've seen The Keep. I've seen one of the like, again, the theatrical version, which is I mean, dude, let's be honest, like, for a lot of people buying it, it's nostalgia. Visually,
Mhm.
it is a very impressive movie. It's filmed, it's shot really well, but it is so like with the editing, like you could just tell, and I can understand like after seeing it, like why Michael Mann like pretty much disowned the movie because
Mhm.
the version he wanted to put out was never put out, and
Yeah.
just was received so poorly. Like he just wanted nothing to do with it and wanted you know washed his hands of it and walked away. And I would be interested if they had a director's cut, but they didn't have the director's cut included. And who knows? Who knows if we'll ever see that? Maybe the fact that this got such a huge response and it sold out so quickly, maybe that'll prompt the studio to want to be interested in doing a director's cut and putting it out there the way that he originally intended. But that release right there, man, I mean, the fact that that sold out in less than 48 hours,
48 hours, yeah.
I did not expect that.
I don't think a
Only
lot of people
because
did.
yeah, but and only because there's so many people that hadn't seen it, you would think, okay, well, this is a relatively at least to like the modern generation. I mean, this is a relatively unknown movie. I mean, and even for me, it's a movie that I had seen for years, and I think my dad had I don't know if he had like a VHS or a DVD of it somewhere, but I had seen it at some point and I remember it. Like I remember the visuals more than anything else, but I don't remember the movie making any friggin' sense, you know? So to me, it was just like, okay, this looks cool. And I
Mhm.
just remember it from my childhood, like somewhere along the line, I had seen it or seen bits and pieces of it, but that was it. And for me, it's like I'm gonna buy the standard. I don't need like the slipped version because for me, it's like not a
Mhm.
movie that I feel I need to have like a crazy edition of. It's just not, you know.
Yeah, but it's
And
that
so
FOMO, dude. That FOMO will
but
just take a hold of you.
and that's the thing, but as much as I was surprised at how fast it sold out, it wasn't like, "Oh, crap," like, I feel bad about it, like, I
Mhm.
actually felt, like, content, and it's like, "Yeah, okay, cool." I mean, I'm glad that it sold out, I'm like, good for them, it's great for Vinegar Syndrome, 'cause,
Yeah.
they're making a lot of money off of that,
Oh, for
but,
sure, dude. 100%. But I
yeah,
think that says
I
a
think
lot too is, like, our reaction, right? Like, after it sells out, it's like,
mm,
if you're very passionate about it and you still want it, I I get that, but if you're just kind of like, "Oh, it is what it is," I mean, then obviously it wasn't that it's not that important of a release, and there's other releases that you'd probably, wanna put your money towards more than that one.
yeah, well, I mean, I kinda commented on another, creator's video and I kind of said this, and this is pretty much where my thoughts are. I was like, you know what, dude, you should just spend your money on movies that you love, that you want in your collection.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know when the meaning became, oh, I got to have everything. Like that's not what
Yeah,
collecting is. Collecting is curating whatever you're
your
into when
personality and your interests.
Exactly. And that's what's unique about it. And that's what should be celebrated more. And that's what should be advertised more and
Mhm.
promoted more, even on YouTube, and all these spaces where like people get together and talk about stuff. That's what makes it unique is that, what you have on your shelves back there is different than what I have here. And that's what we can talk about. That's what
But
makes
that's
it
what's
interesting.
interesting, right? Yeah, like, if I go to your house and I'm looking through your collection, it's like, okay, this is Will's, interest, this is what he
Yeah.
likes, and this is and maybe I'll
Yeah.
find some movies that I like, and I think that's what's so cool
Yeah.
about collecting, but it has become like what you said, it's like, here's a release, and it's like, it's limited, and you only get so many, and now everyone's just clamoring over it, and it's not so much, passion towards the movie anymore, it's just kind of like, I need it just because it's a limited edition set. Um
Right.
and that sucks. I mean, I think all of this, to be honest, bro, it's kind of gearing me more towards like, especially when I did that video on the steelbook pricing, it's just gearing me more towards just standard releases, and it kind of
Mm.
sucks, you know what I mean? But like, I've noticed that I'm just kind of like, oh, screw it, I'm not gonna mess with the steelbook. I'll just get the standard. Like,
Yeah.
it's just easier that way. I don't have to worry about fighting over
Yeah.
people over limited edition sets or whatever, and it's just it's put my mind at ease just kind of doing that, because it's just annoying just going over this FOMO and fighting over packaging and getting orders, and it's just that's not what I wanted to do when I started collecting. It was just like, I just wanted to, like you said, curate the movies that I really like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm at the point now where like, dude, like even with the boutique releases, like I've slowed down a lot. Like, and they really like something really has to have like a lot of extras or like,
Hmm.
special content, like as far as like behind the scenes stuff to really sell me on some of these things, because
Yeah.
I'm also at the point now, like where I talked about Scream Factory. Like I love Scream Factory, they have their place
Hmm.
in the landscape out there. But for me, it's like, dude, I have so many of their titles on Blu-ray, like, I'm not gonna upgrade all of them to 4K, like, that's the other thing too, is this, like, desire or this, like, I don't know, this, like, it's like it's almost like it's become a necessity, like, I need to upgrade it, I need to have everything on, like, the best format, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not everything like I mentioned about, like, Turbulence, for example, I
Hmm.
bought it because I didn't have the Blu-ray, but did I need the 4K transfer of that? No, I just happened to get it for a price that I felt was worth
Yeah,
it.
that was fair and worth it. Yeah.
Would I pay like 29.99 or like 30 something for that? No, probably not. But yeah, for 17 bucks, sure. I mean,
Hmm.
for me, at that price, it becomes worth it to just buy it because I never had the Blu-ray anyway. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest, man, I'm not going to sit here and rebuy every like Scream Factory title on 4K when I already have the Blu-ray. Like
No
some of
way.
them
Yeah.
maybe, if I feel like it's a worthy upgrade, but, for some of those movies, I'm just not gonna do it. Like, it's just not worth it,
I think that's just
It's
where
just too much
you
money.
it's just movies that you're passionate, like, I mean, No Country for Old Men is one for sure that, I'd been waiting a long time for a 4K transfer, but it's like, yeah, I have tons of Criterions that I'm not gonna upgrade, ever since they
Mm,
started doing the 4Ks on Criterion, I'm like, I'm not gonna upgrade all my Criterion discs, you know what I mean? Especially with the
yeah,
pricing of these boutique labels, so,
yeah,
yeah, dude, I think it's just, if we kinda if and like I said, I'm not trying to say that we're not guilty of it, because I know that we've done the FOMO thing and we've purchased, limited edition sets, and we're guilty of it too. But it's like, I think if we were able to kind of just go back to why we do this in the first place, which is supposed to be just collect movies that you're really passionate about, I think people's collections would probably look a lot different and their wallets would be, we would be saving a lot more cash than we do now than just splurging on re-release after re-release. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, but we'll see what happens, dude. 2025 will be interesting. I'm hoping it's not. I mean, this year wasn't too bad. I don't feel like last year I felt like it was just constant releases, and this year was kind of it died down a little bit, at least for me. Um, but we'll
yeah,
see.
2022 and 2023 were definitely, like, stacked years, and
Yeah.
I think if we go back and look at, like, the release calendars, we probably there's probably, there's probably, evidence to validate that, because that's how I kinda look at it. That's what I remember. I just remember 2022 was, like, a crazy year. There were
Yeah.
so many good releases that year, and 2023 was pretty close. But, yeah, this year felt, a little slower in general in terms of how often I was, like, interested in getting
Hmm.
something, which I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing because I think it can be good to kinda slow down a little bit, especially when there's just stuff that's, like, thrown at us, like, every week, dude. There's,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
so much coming
Every
out,
day
and
I'm getting pings on releases, dude. It's just like
yeah, just
it's nonstop.
oversaturation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
but I
gets
I think
tiresome.
yeah, it's good to take a step back and kinda rethink your collection and what it is, and I think going into the new year, hopefully, a lot of people, especially lately with, like, a lot of, like, people in the YouTube community and in the physical media community kinda touching base on some of these topics and kinda talking about, like, the flip side of collecting, that
Mhm.
a lot of people for, I think, the longest time, like, don't really wanna come to terms with, But it's just the reality, man, like, you gotta take a step back every once in a while and, like, reevaluate, like, what you're actually buying and spending your money on and whether
Mhm.
or not it's actually worth it and whether or not it actually makes you happy, because if
Yeah.
it's just stressing you out, then it ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's not
So,
why you got into it in the first place, but cool,
yeah.
man. That was a good discussion, and we'll probably touch base
Yeah,
on it
dude.
again, but I know we're gonna, probably do some videos on I know we had talked about, like, our favorite transfers of the year and favorite movies of the year, and, we'll probably get into those as we kinda close December out, but,
Yeah.
um,
I gotta
yeah.
watch The Substance. I still haven't seen it. I gotta
Chase is
get
gonna
that out
shit
of the
on you
way
until you
before he
watch
starts
that
sending,
movie,
like, threatening letters to my mailing address.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
It's
what
I
the
mean, it's
hell's
a
wrong with
solid
you?
movie. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I had a fun time. I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10 when I did
Okay.
the
Cool.
yeah, when I came out of the movie theater. The end you might have a higher score than I did. It's just the ending is just so bonkers and crazy, but you and Chase might it's up your
Yeah,
alley, I
I
know.
usually go for that stuff sometimes.
I
Well,
was
yeah,
just like,
but
"Whoa." Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna definitely catch it soon. But yeah, I mean, for those of you watching, stay tuned for all that. Like the best of, we're
Yeah.
gonna do like our best theatrical releases, best physical releases.
Mhm.
We got some fun stuff coming in the
Yeah.
next, few weeks. So
And we're still gonna delve into the streaming soon, hopefully. We'll kind of touch on
yeah,
that soon and see how that works. But we appreciate you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what your pickups were maybe for Cyber Monday, Black Friday, any titles you got that you wish that you got. And yeah, we appreciate you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
buy what you love, save your money.
There you go.
You don't need
Don't be a
every
mega
damn
pro
release.
bastard.
You know.
There you go.